Yeah, you never said a word, you didn't send me no letter. Don't think I could forgive you. See, our word is slowly dying, I'm not wasting no more time. Don't think I could believe you.
This week we looked at two tracks. We looked at Lily Wood and The Prick, which is the one that you just heard there, with Prayer in C, and we also looked at Green Day, Good Riddance, Time of Your Life. Or is it Time of Your Life, Good Riddance? Can't remember the order of the words there. So let's start off with Lily Wood and The Prick, shall we? So we have two things happening in this song. We have a riff that reoccurs, which is that one, and then there's also a chord progression in there, which is an A minor, C, G, and then a D minor. So let's deal with the riff, shall we? So there's a melody there on the first string and the second string, and then some bass notes on the sixth string and the fifth string. What I'm going to suggest you do this week is just learn the melody on the first and second string, and then we'll add the bass notes in a little bit later, because adding those in slightly complicates, not massively, but slightly complicates the fingering that we use. So I'm just going to grab the sheet so make sure that we're reading off the same song sheet, literally. Okay, so this is the riff. So we're in the 5th fret with the first finger on the first string. We pick that twice. And then it's to the 7th fret with the 3rd finger. And then to the 8th fret with the 4th finger. Notice how we're keeping all of these notes held down. I'm going to play that bar together. We then move to the 2nd string, so we're in the 2nd bar now. 5th fret again, 6th fret, and then back to the 5th fret. 3rd bar, we're going to slide this finger back to the 3rd fret. 5th fret with your 3rd finger now, and then the 6th fret with your 4th finger, and then back to the 3rd fret. 6th fret with the 2nd finger. Okay, I'm going to play that quite slowly, just once through, and we'll have a go at doing it together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep playing that, keep going back and until you can play along with it. And then next week we'll add in these bass notes. There's also a chord progression in here, so if you have a look at the handout, it indicates at what point you're going to be playing the chords. We can work on being able to play this with the track in coming weeks. I mean, for now, if you can just get that chord progression together, that's absolutely fine and brilliant with me. So I'm going to give you a close-up of the changes that this hand performs. So the first chord is an A minor. We then go to a C chord, so that 1st and 2nd finger stays where it is. It's then up to a G chord. I'm going to play the G a little bit differently. I'm going to lift these two up, so we're going to lift and shift those on the 5th and 6th strings, and I'm going to add the 4th finger in to make the rest of the G. Now I know some of us are struggling with that change. We can get away with not having that G, that 4th finger in, and we just strum less of the strings. We strum down to about the 2nd string. Okay, so D minor. I'm going to keep these in roughly the same formation, but before we do that, we're going to put that 1st finger on the 1st fret, 1st string, and then move these down to the 3rd and 2nd strings. Should we have an even closer look at that? So we're going A minor, C, G, D minor. And if you can just work on that chord change, guys, then that is wonderful. If you want to have a go at the rhythm, you're strumming on the second and fourth beat of each bar, so count yourself in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So that was Time of Your Life by Green Day. Okay, so let's have a quick chat about these chord shapes. So most of them, well, all of them with the exception of the D, have the fourth finger on the first string in the third fret and the third finger on the second string in the third fret. Then the chord changes are all done between the first and the second fingers. And there's 3 principal chords in here. You've got G, and then C. Well, it's a C add 9. On your sheet it just says C to keep things simple, but it's a C add 9. And we drop those down to the 5th and 4th strings. The other chord that's in here is an E minor 7th, but again on your sheet I believe it's just written down as an E minor. Then in between that we have D as well. So what we really want to be working on is just being able to confidently change between these chords. So if you can't get the strumming pattern in, then don't worry about that too much. Just being able to keep up with the chord change is absolutely fine. So I'm going to play it through now, and I'm going to shout out the chords as we do it, and if you can keep up, then that's great. So this is the target speed that we're going to set, so it's going to be a little bit lower than what's on the recording. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, C, and then D, and then G, and then C, and then D, and then E minor, D, C, and then G, E minor, D, C, and then G, E minor, G, E minor, G, E minor, D, and then G. Now that probably did seem a little bit quick, thinking back, but bearing in mind that on the recording, I think the rhythms... so I think the rhythm that I just played is something that we can work towards, maybe over a period of 2 or 3 weeks. Okay, so on the rhythm, I'd really like you again just to feel your way through the rhythm, but we are working as a template with a down, down, up, up, down, up rhythm. Okay guys, so that's this week's songs. Enjoy your practicing, and I will see you next week.